Hey, what's up, mortals? It's me, Robert Ramirez, aka Raj Revenge here. And before we get into today's video, there's something I like to say. I like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So if you're interested, go to the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if this video hits 300 likes by the end of the week, we will continue this What If. Thirdly, if you didn't know already, only 41.3% of you guys are actually subscribed to us. So please hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the story. Last time on What If Deku did Rock Lee's training, the UA first years finished the first two events in the sports festival, and Present Mike just announced the third event. Deku starts looking at the hologram Midnight had put up that showed the matchups. He looks around for his name and sees it almost immediately. He sees Izuku Midoriya versus Shinzo Hitoshi. Then Tokoyami raises his hand and Midnight calls on him. He says, "I withdraw from the sports festival. During the whole cavalry battle, I felt my brain was fuzzy. It was only when I bumped into a member of another team at the end did my brain become clear. I think I might have been brainwashed." A student from Class 1B chips in. "I felt the same. I think I might have been that Shinzo guy, but I withdraw as well." Midnight spends a few seconds thinking and says, "I'll allow it." Kirishima whispers to himself, "So manly." Then Midnight says, "We'll need people to fill up their places. I think the runner-up team would do best." Kendo butts in and says, "I think it should be from the team Tetsu Tetsu. They were fighting the whole time, but we just sat around the whole time. Right, girls?" The girls on the team nod in agreement. Midnight says, "Well, alright. Tetsu Tetsu and Shiozaki will take their place." Before we get back into the story, I like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes over the hard facts of the anime presented. Now, in case you guys didn't know, we have a third channel called Anime Theory. Anime Theory mainly focuses on a large variety of mind-boggling anime theories. If you're interested in content like this, please go check out the description down below or click the icon in the top right corner. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the story. Afterwards, Tokoyami walks up to Deku and says, "Midoriya, I need to give you some advice." They then walk to Deku's prep room and sit down. Tokoyami says, "I only feel under his control when I answered his question. I think that's how he uses his quirk. Try not to answer his questions or even reply to him." Deku nods in understanding and waits for his fight. A few minutes later, it's time for Izuku's fight. Deku walks up to the arena at the same time as Shinzo walks up. Then when they're both on the platform, Present Mike says, "Start!" Shinzo immediately starts trying to get Izuku to answer one of his questions. He says, "I bet that bird told you how to avoid my quirk. Honestly, who would waste this opportunity? I think he's stupid." As Deku is about to reply, he sees Might Guy in the stands and holds back his comments. He starts running towards Shinzo, hoping to push him out of bounds. Shinzo says, "I think it's stupid trying to be a hero while being quirkless. No amount of training can put you above powerful quirk users like All Might." Deku looks down, then looks back up with a smile. He uses the scarf and wraps it around Shinzo. He throws him out of bounds and says, "I know, but might as well try, right?" The crowd erupts in cheers as Izuku's match ends. Most matches are the same as in canon, due to them not being affected by Deku's training, except for Kirishima's fights, and Ojiro replaces Tokoyami in all of Tokoyami's fights. The first match affected will be Ojiro versus Yaoyorozu. Yaoyorozu tries to come up with a plan against Ojiro's tail, but before she can, President Mike says, "Start!" Ojiro quickly runs up to Yaoyorozu, trying to limit the amount of time she has to react. Yaoyorozu is able to make a shield before Ojiro gets close, overwhelming her with a barrage of attacks from his tail. She keeps on trying to make weapons to attack, but Ojiro is just attacking too fast for her to stop defending. Then after about a minute, Ojiro steps back. Yaoyorozu thinks he stopped attacking. "This is my chance to make a weapon." Yaoyorozu is out of bounds. Ojiro wins and passes the second round. The next round is Kirishima versus Tetsu Tetsu. Kirishima and Tetsu Tetsu do some stretches and then Present Mike says, "Start!" Kirishima activates 5% of Ofa and runs at Tetsu Tetsu. Tetsu Tetsu hardens just in time as Kirishima unleashes a 5% smash at him and knocks him back, but not out of bounds. Then Kirishima stops using Ofa and uses his normal hardening abilities boosted by Ofa. His hardness level is just below unbreakable. Then Tetsu Tetsu and Kirishima hit each other chins at the same time. Tetsu Tetsu is knocked out, but Kirishima is still standing. Midnight announces Tetsu Tetsu is down. Kirishima is the winner. Bakugo and Uraraka's match goes goes the same as in canon. The students take a short break before second round. During this, Might Guy meets up with Deku. He says, "Great work out there! Keep it up!" He gives Deku a thumbs up. "Don't remove our weights unless you really need to. Remember that." Izuku replies, "Of course, Guy-sensei." Guy smiles and gives him a thumbs up and says, "Good! Now kick some butt!" Izuku, putting up his own thumbs up, says, "Will do, sensei." The next match is Todoroki versus Midoriya. They both walk onto the concrete arena equal distance from the center. Then Present Mike says, "Start!" Todoroki shoots a wall of ice at Deku, but Deku uses his martial arts to chop away at the ice as it comes his way. Deku starts sprinting towards Todoroki, keeping low to the ground. Todoroki sends another spiky wall of ice at Deku, but Deku kicks it and says, "Texas Hurricane!" breaking the ice and shoving it out of the way. Izuku says, "Isn't your quirk half cold, half hot? I think you should be using your full strength." Deku stops running and continues, "Well, I shouldn't be talking about full strength. I'm keeping 150-pound weights on my legs right now. Alright, if you use your full power, I'll use mine. How about it?" Deku smiles, but Todoroki just sends a nasty glance at Izuku. He says in a disgusted voice, "My father put you up to this, didn't he?" Midoriya, confused, says, "No, I didn't talk to Endeavor before this match. I only talked to my sensei before fighting you. So, no, I didn't talk to your dad." Todoroki says, "I'll win first place without using my damn old man's quirk." Izuku says in a stricter voice than earlier, "You think you can win with just half of your power? Most of us have worked all of our lives giving it our all in each situation, but you just been using half? It's your quirk, isn't it? Not his." Todoroki's left side starts producing steam, then flames start replacing the steam. Deku realizes what he did and quickly removes his weights. The crowd is in shock over the amount of damage his weights did to the stadium. Izuku then moves back, then gets ready for his attack. Todoroki releases the same attack as in canon. Deku runs towards Todoroki and gets ready to use his scarf. Izuku says, "Hidden Lotus!" using the scarf to trap Todoroki, putting his flames out. He kicks off the ground, propelling him and Todoroki up into the air. He then flips Todoroki upside down and wraps his legs around his body and his arms around his legs. Simmental sees that Todoroki's head is about to hit the floor and softens the concrete, but isn't able to soften it all the way, but is still soft enough that it isn't fatal or a lifetime injury. Todoroki is knocked out and Midnight says Todoroki is immobilized. Izuku is the winner. The crowd cheers louder than they had all day. Deku looks up at the stand and sees Guy-sensei smiling down at him. Izuku smiles back as a robot takes Todoroki into the nurse's office. The next match is Kirishima versus Bakugo. They both walk out onto the arena and wait. Then shortly after Present Mike says, "Start!" Kirishima immediately activates Ofa and his hardening. Red Bullet, 8%, hardening. Bakugo uses his explosion to leap the side and dodge Kirishima's attack. But Kirishima turns towards Bakugo, says 8% Crimson Smash, and nails his right arm. Bakugo jumps back with his right arm being clutched by his left hand. Bakugo quickly recovers and goes on the attack. He uses an explosion to get behind Kirishima, using the initial explosion to create a smoke screen, blinding Kirishima. He fires a full-powered explosion on Kirishima's back, knocking him to the ground. Kirishima gets right back up with a few scratches and cuts. Bakugo goes right back on the attack. He uses his famous right hook, but Kirishima remembered during hero training when Izuku countered Bakugo's right hook with a shoulder throw and decided to try and replicate it. Kirishima catches Bakugo's right hook and tries to throw him over his shoulder and into the ground, but he lets go too early and sends Bakugo flying through the air. Kirishima says, "Whoops," and scratches the back of his head. Kirishima starts relaxing, thinking that he won the match, but Bakugo uses his explosions to fly up just as he was about to hit the ground of out of bounds. Bakugo yells as he gets back into the ring, "You spiky-haired bastard!" Bakugo gets right next to Kirishima and uses his full force explosion, hurting his hand, but Kirishima jumps out of the way, says 10% Red Bullet Cardinal Smash, hitting Bakugo's stomach. Bakugo is knocked out from the punch. Midnight says Bakugo is unconscious. Kirishima is the winner. The next match is Ojiro versus Mina. Ojiro goes on the attack the whole time and pushes Mina out of bounds. The next match is Midoriya versus Ida. As soon as they're both in the arena, Present Mike says, "Start!" When the match starts, Ida uses his engines to quickly get up close to Deku. When he's he's right in front of Deku. He uses Recipro Burst to try to kick Deku. Deku is able to dodge, but Ida uses a second kick to kick Izuku back and hit him to the floor. Ida grabs Izuku's shirt and starts running towards the border of the arena, but about halfway through, Deku grabs Ida's leg and flips him around. Deku gets on top of Ida and holds his arms against his back. Ida thinks, damn it, my engines are stalled. Midnight says, 1, 2, 3. Ida is immobilized. Izuku is the winner. The last semi-final match is Ojiro versus Kirishima. Again, just like the other match, President Mike says, start! When they both are in the arena, Kirishima starts running towards Ojiro. While he's running, he says, 5% Red Bullet hardening. When Kirishima arrives close to Ojiro, he hurls back his fist, ready to attack. Ojiro sweeps Kirishima's legs, causing him to fall to the ground. Ojiro says, your attacks are way too obvious, man. Anyone who spent a day in a dojo can see that from a mile away. You might have an advantage in power, but I have the advantage in technique. He slams his tail in Kirishima's stomach. Kirishima slowly gets back up and says, you're right, I'm inexperienced in fighting, but I've been blessed by so many people. I won't let them down. Red Bullet, 15%. Kirishima zooms behind Ojiro and hits him in the back. Ojiro turns around to face Kirishima, but he's already super close to him. Ojiro is able to block his first punch, but Kirishima unleashes a barrage of punches, overwhelming Ojiro, sending him barely out of bounds. Midnight says, Ojiro is out of bounds. Kirishima is the winner. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there's a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writers for the video, as well as the editors for the video. Their details will be in the description down below. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up one of the heads of those areas. We're always looking for more members to join us. That's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out, mortals. Have an amazing day.